Okay, let's talk about pose orientation for a moment. Make sure that I'm saying the things that I want to say. So again, for life, how are we orientating in life? Are we willing to pivot? Are we willing to change direction? Are we willing to shift? Change perspective? To find different ways to do poses, playing with poses, it requires playing with poses. So get on your bed, on the mat, on the ground, wherever, and play and see what happens. You can imagine finding the most fun things. So this has become a warrior 3 pose in my gentle class. If I was flipped, I'd be standing on one of those legs. The other leg would be reaching back. You could also be holding the leg. So this is like, oh, who knew I could be in warrior 3 lying down? It's my favorite variation, by the way. So we'll look at some poses that I've switched around. Number 1 is Garudasana, or eagle pose. And I've just added some blocks under my legs. I'm also not doing the complete wrap of my foot underneath the leg. And I'm giving myself a hug instead of creating the Garudasana arms, because sometimes those are intense. So I'm just hugging. Number 2, well, what do you think? It's downward facing dog. What? Why not? There it is. If I flipped myself, I would be in down dog. The third one is Ustrasana, or camel pose. Just one day I was doing a yoga challenge, and that was the pose. And I thought, how am I going to do this? And I was like, what? My chair, cush on the knees, some cush like in the front of me, nice and supportive. I had those railings to kind of reach for. So that was a fun variation of Ustrasana camel pose. Then triangle pose. I like using a chair. There's so many ways to do these poses. I'm not reaching the top arm up for triangle in number 4. I'm just with my hand on my hip because that feels nice. The lunge, number 5, I've got some blocks to support my hands. The chair is supporting my body. You can do that through the chair. I mean, there's just so many. And then number 6, Gomukhasana arms. Now, back in the day, it was everything to try to get, your hands clasped behind your back. Really? So now it's like, give yourself a pat on the back, and then take your other hand and give yourself another pat on the back, because you're great and you're amazing and you're awesome. And you might reach the pelvis or the low back or the upper back, and it doesn't matter. What matters is that you're breathing and giving yourselves a pat on the back and feeling some stretch.